as Vinny mentioned, remains to be seen who the Knicks will be facing next. Sixers Celtics.
They forced that game 7. Obviously, Boston had some woes, and Philly found a way to take advantage in this one.
They did. And let's see how it all went down. Cut to the highlight. Game 6. The Celtics haven't eliminated the Sixers in Philadelphia since 1969. Not going to start tonight. Jason Tatum coming off the screen, hitting a 3, though. The offense getting going early. Jaylen Brown finishes the layup. Celtics up 27-26 early in this one, but BJ Edgecombe, here he comes, blowing past Brown, going downhill for the hammer. Then midway through the second, Paul George showing up big in this one, knocks down the 3. Sixers starting to pull away, but take a look at this during the break. Tatum appears to be dealing with some discomfort, jumping to loosen up. He would stay in the game. How would that affect him? We'll see. Joel Embiid finding Tyrese Maxey for the J. Then Maxey coming off the screen hits the 3. Sixers led 58-49 at the half. To the third we go. Joel Embiid behind the back to Kelly Oubre for the finish. Embiid making it look easy. As Philly up 13. Now the Celtics on the other end. Brown attacks, gets denied at the rim. Sixers running. Edgecombe gets it, punches it in. Boom. Sixers in full control here, up 15. Celtics are forced to call a timeout. Tatum heads back to the locker room. Couldn't jump it off. Not looking good for Boston late in the third. Maxey drives, finishes the tough lay. Philly up 82-63 going into the fourth. The Philadelphia in full control. Now Jason Tatum returns to the bench. He would not play in the fourth quarter. Philly up double digits. Embiid inside the elbow hits the J. Sixers up 14. And the young guy Edgecombe in the corner finds him. Knew he had to knock it down. 3. That's good. The Sixers up 20. Philly wins 106-93, forcing a game 7. Now, the Celtics and Sixers will go to 7 games for the 9th time in series history. That's 4 more than any other postseason matchup in NBA history. Good news for Boston. The Celtics have won 6 of the previous 8.
Okay, but we're going to start with some bad news for Boston as Danny Green rejoins the program here. We saw Jason Tatum hobbling towards the end of that highlight, right? But it is of concern from a larger picture standpoint for that Boston team. How concerned should they be going into this Game 7, knowing that their star may be hobbled despite having gotten to this point largely without him?
I mean, I'd be very concerned if I'm a Boston Celtics fan or organization. Even with him, I'd be very concerned because the way Philly is playing right now, it's an all-time high level. And Joel Embiid is very empowering his teammates to an extensive way of play. Like, he's playing a great floor game, assisting them, rebounding, doing little things. And obviously, playoff PG came to life tonight, so they look good. But if you have a guy like Jason Tatum, who's been a cornerstone to what you've been doing the last 5 years, and of course, the end of the season, he's picked it up because of what Derek White has had struggle with. Peyton Pritchard had some nights here and there. But he's a guy that you kind of run your system, your offense through. If you don't have him, this is going to be a tough one to win.
Well, and you mentioned Embiid empowering his teammates here, but it wasn't that long ago that when he came back into this series, people were saying, oh, should he have come off the bench? Is he helping this team? What we saw tonight and most recently from Joel Embiid, how pivotal is he for this Sixers team?
Very pivotal, and those people that were speaking those words are definitely eating them now because he is making everybody look wrong or bad in their takes that they had about him. He's been an enforcer on the block, getting close to the paint, just dominant. Like, when he gets at this level where he plays like this and gets to the basket and making them foul him and not settling for jumpers, he's hard to guard. He's the biggest body in the NBA when it comes to girth and size and that nature. Obviously, Wemby's the tallest, but nobody can match his size. He is a Shaq with Kobe-like footwork and touch, can make free throws. So when he enforces his will on the paint, it's hard to stop. And then when you got guys like VJ Edgecombe and Paul George and Kelly Oubre knocking down threes around you, that's a really hard team to beat.
Unfortunately, Boston not able to knock down their threes. And obviously, philosophically, a large part of their success is predicated upon them being able to do that. But are we looking at this just being a matter of the Celtics not making their threes? Or is there something larger at play that finds them in this situation?
I mean, you gotta give credit to Philly. They did a lot of making them miss threes, and they know the series. They were like, "Oh, we gotta take some more. We gotta take them with confidence." They're searching their three ball because normally they're not a three-point shooting team. To keep up with this Boston Celtics teams, you have to take them and make threes, and then you have to contest them and make sure that they don't make threes. So they kept them under 30% from three. You know the differences before the game that they shoot 42% from three in their wins, and then 27 in their losses. So they had 29% in their loss tonight. And they're just going to hope to shoot better. But, Philly gets a lot of credit for that defensive output that they did out there and forcing them to take contested ones and not getting any clean looks and not ever getting a rhythm throughout the game. So if they can continue to do that, they have a really good chance at shocking the world.
Boston had a 3-1 series lead, but now the series back in Boston for Game 7 Saturday. Danny Green, thanks so much for the insight.
Thank you.
BT Skills back with you on SportsCenter. New York Knicks routed the Hawks Game 6 to take the first round set. Knicks set an NBA playoff record with a 47-point halftime lead. Held the Hawks to just 36 points in the first half, forcing 14 turnovers. It was an absolute mess in State Farm Arena when it comes to that Hawks side of things. And ESPN NBA senior writer Vinny Goodwill, because he's a friend of the program, joins us now on SportsCenter from Atlanta. Mike Brown mentioned that the Hawks forced them to make some changes, and boy, did they. Those adjustments absolutely key, but what were those adjustments?
Well, Trevor, when you go down 2-1 and you're facing a 3-1 deficit, you better have some soul searching going on. And that's what the Knicks did before Game 4. That's why Karl Towns had a triple-double in Game 4, being 10 assists, and then had another triple-double tonight. They switched up their offense to have it not be run by Jalen Brunson at the top, but Karl Towns, and have everybody cutting off of him. What happened was a lot more energy on offense, a lot more concentration on defense, and each win got successively more decisive, from 14 to 29 to 51 points tonight. There's no better way for you to enter the second round than the way that the Knicks are playing right now.
Okay, so knowing that and not necessarily knowing the opponent, given that Philly just forced the Game 7, when you see them rattle off those 3 straight wins in obviously more and more dominant fashion, what does that show you that this Knicks team is capable of?
Well, we know that the Eastern Conference is flawed, and we see the Boston Celtics are having trouble. The Detroit Pistons are having trouble. The Cleveland Cavaliers are having trouble. The Knicks actually handled their business. And when you do it with this sort of concentration, it shows that you'll be able to sustain it against a better opponent, no matter who it's going to be in the next round. Could it be Philly or Boston? We're going to see how that happens in the Game 7. But OG Anunoby and Jalen Brunson said, hey, look, if we want to be the team that we say we're going to be, we have to actually concentrate and go about the business of doing the things and being the things that we say we are. So it shows that this team is not just talk. They've had some up and downs this season, but by and large, other than a 2-9 stretch in the middle of the season, they've been largely consistent. It's just the style points that they haven't won on. Tonight, they gave everybody the style points.
Specifically the Hawks, and some belts in the process. Vinny Goodwill, we appreciate you joining us here, man.
Yes, sir.
you.